So today, I figured I'd do something a little different. So we're gonna look at some scrapped concepts that were supposed to be there for Desiderium II. So, you know, thumbnails, scrap songs. There are actually a lot of scrap songs. Alright, first off, let me get to the thumbnails. So this is the first thumbnail. Now, it's like a very early thumbnail, doesn't look too good. It was more of I was just messing around and trying to see what worked. That one here is more of like, we'll say 60% of the way done. Compared to this one here, I actually have two versions. The first one here, or this is actually the second intended one after I changed the color from orange to the blue because of the like textures in the back. It looks more like ice. And obviously this is the final one. Okay, now for the songs, this is I think the juicy part. This has gone through, I would say, realistically 3 different waves of separate songs. The first one, like I'm talking way back when I finished Desiderium 1, was supposed to be Eternal Flame. Okay, so this song here, I mean, it's almost 6.5 minutes. This was originally what I had in mind for Desiderium 2. Like I said, this was like after I finished 1, so, you know, the current thoughts going through my head, the psychos, they weren't there for this. So that's technically the first song. Now, the second wave was using songs that other people in Team Intellion had edited with that I never got to actually work with. I mean, these are going to be like older songs. Back as far as, oh man, look at those thumbnails. I made those thumbnails. They're not very good looking compared to everything else, but it's okay. So for like here in Luminescence, this is Night Things by Chasing Desolation. Half Past 7, Night on Fire, which is one of my favorites. Another Day's Armor, Won't Stop Me, which that was actually used on the Team Exclusion montages way back. Like, man, how long ago was that? That's like 3 years or something like that. That's kind of crazy. I feel like an old man. And then once we got to what we currently see in the montage, it was originally going to have 4 songs in total. And I basically just scrapped the second section, or what was supposed to be the second section, because I didn't have enough clips. So the song that had to be taken out was No Ghost by Fight Like Sin. I actually had it cropped a specific way. I'll probably put it here later on, like during the editing process. Now, we're gonna move on to the outro songs that also didn't actually make it in. The first one here is Because of Me by Late Night Savior. The second is Make You Love Me by Discrepancies. I hear what you tell me, but you gon' have to show me if you don't like me, but you don't know me. Let Margot Out by Chasing Desolation. It used to be my outro song. I haven't used it in a while, and I felt like it really wouldn't have worked out with everything else going on. It would just be kind of randomly there for one time. And I wanted something, like, if something's going to be there one time, it's going to have to be something that fits with it. Ascend by The Dew. And then Right the Wrongs by Cage 9. All of them to me make good credit songs, but just not 100% for the end of Desiderium II. Alright, now, these are the actual things within the program itself, so let me get over to that. This right here, this is March 15th, so that is probably a little after the time I started it. Here, we're gonna see if there's anything here that's different. I want to say the intro is different slightly. So you can see there are a couple things that changed in here. Mainly, I mean, I think most of these ended up in the... Yeah, these ended up in the final section. What is this? Oh yeah. Oh, I never used that. I had this and I think it's called the Proto X1 or something like that in World War II. Where they were just really fast quad feeds. I tried to fit them in, but they didn't fit. Even though they were so fast. Oh no, this looks all good. Oh no, that's right, I did resync that. Oh, this is different. This is the clip I'm talking about. That right there. Like 0.25 seconds. Alright, well, if that's it here in Premiere Pro for now, then I'm gonna go into After Effects. There's one very crucial part that never made it in. Arguably, the most important thing in the history of life. So, this was supposed to be part of the credits here. Now we'll go look at some of the cinematics that just never made it. This right here didn't make it in purely because of the firework effects there in the background. This didn't make it in just because it's also kind of blurry. This right here didn't make it in. I wanted it to, but there wasn't really a good way to make it work. The Evermore Hotel. This, yeah, these didn't make it in. Let's just say they were meant to be in the outro and I didn't want it to be completely overwhelmed by this stuff. This almost made it in, but I don't really have anything on this map that happened, so I left that out. This too, like, I just got a bunch of random stuff for the credits part of it. This didn't make it in either. I mean, as you can see as I'm clicking through these, I had way too many things that were taken out. So I think most of, if not all of these actually made it in. Well, no, there were some like this that I don't think made it in just because they were like reused from the last one. Yeah, like that was in Desiderium 1. This kill chain didn't really fit in flow-wise. I'll probably put all of these up in a completely separate upload. So all that's left is just concepts that I had that didn't really come to light. This should work out. This is, I think, a good enough example here. For the Desiderium II like logo part of it, this is kind of what I envisioned for it in the beginning, but I felt like it would be a little too complicated compared to like the rest of the stuff I had to finish. So I just left that for another time. Maybe it'll be used another time, who knows. So I already talked about the actual outro, and there were some cinematics that were scrapped, obviously, that I kind of showed you, but the outro was originally much more anime inspired than it actually ended up being. Here, let me give you some examples here. If you don't like this stuff, well then I recommend skipping to the end. So obviously the actual song itself will probably be muted for fear of copyright, but you know this kind of stuff, the walking cycles. I was starting to get cinematics for that, and that didn't really work out. It didn't look natural. The other parts that were intended to be there was supposed to be backgrounds kind of like this going on. Obviously the color is going to change depending on the character that's on screen. And the same thing would have been true of the actual specialists themselves. I actually tried making the stuff in the background, the little circles and stuff like that, out of masks, but that didn't work out very well. I definitely need to just spend time doing that. So all in all, I think that's it. Everything else is just a couple changed colors here and there, and that's pretty much it. But this is the last thing here that is actually really important to the overall montage edit in general. So this montage intent here, went up on the Team Intellion channel. You know how the final section here, it's another Tether song, but what I'm sure that nobody else knows but us is that Masochistic Healing was actually supposed to be the final song here. I mean, I was so excited to actually see it be used here that I was a little sad when it wasn't used, but obviously another great song by them though. I mean, how can you not get hyped up when you hear the song here? Here, let me get to the right part. And when he wasn't really able to work with it, I mean, as soon as he said that, pretty much I'm like, oh yeah, I'm using that. Oh yeah, I think that's it. So now that you have that information, you could do with that what you will. You can make fun of me, you can do whatever you want. Thank you for stopping by here and looking at this. I'll leave the fish dabbing cinematic here at the end. That'll be my outro. Okay, bye.